Commissioners, the meeting is live.
Welcome to the January 27th meeting of Raleigh County Commissioners. Please stand and join the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Any public comments? I'll go to Commissioner comments. John, are you there?
I am
Okay.
not necessarily in body today, but at least in spirit.
I know she didn't put the picture up.
Yeah. We had a little bit of a freak accident on Saturday. I was doing some work here at home on some shelving that it needed to replace and fix, and probably should have been a two-person job, to be quite honest with you. But I was on the ladder. It came apart. It collapsed, fell down on top of me, knocked me off the ladder, and I'm pretty bruised up. Looks like my right eye right now looks like somebody threw a baseball at it. So thought it might be better just to kind of stay home today and relax and heal up a little bit. I'm kind of bruised all the way down to about the bottom of my ribs a little bit there. So my leg's kind of sore. So I guess I'm just not as young as I used to be. So life is what it is. So with that said, I do have a few things that I managed to get done and accomplished, I guess. So Friday, of course, I was able to attend the Regional Growth Summit. Of course, I was hosted by the Manhattan Area Chamber of Commerce at the Hilton. Some opening welcomes and comments. We heard from Matt Tarleton as he discussed the growth imperative and the the growth plan that's been put together over the last year and how to grow the Manhattan region, followed by a couple discussion on the topic at the tables. Got community updates from Junction City, Wamego, and Manhattan, as well as Pottawatomie County and the Manhattan Regional Airport. I guess the regional council was supposed to get one too, but wasn't there. That followed Josh Jefferson, Deputy Secretary of Business Development for the Kansas Chamber of Commerce. He gave us an update on all they're working on. After lunch, we heard from John Armbrust and Colonel Gerald Nazario, the Fort Riley Garrison Commander, on all things Fort Riley. Apparently, there was a group discussion after that. I had to leave, but then the last presentation was a Metal Communities. Can Metal Communities be a metro? And Metal is an acronym. It stands for Manhattan, Emporia, Topeka, and Lawrence. So it's a collaboration from all those chambers and greater community networks. It was done by Matt somebody. I can't really pronounce his name. There's not a lot of vowels in that. He's the CEO of the Greater Topeka Partnership, and I guess a facilitated group discussion took place to close. I had to leave the summit early for a doctor's appointment. We went through all the lab and test work in correlation with my fall general checkup. Outside of my cholesterol, which somehow just decided to shoot up on me, everything looks pretty good moving forward. So I guess I'm gonna have to work on that when it would appear. Watch the K-State men's basketball game from home. I didn't go because, as you know, I'm a bad luck charm, and it was nice to see him pick up a pretty good win against a pretty quality opponent. I think they were ranked anyway, West Virginia, 73-60, in a game that really wasn't as close as the score indicated. Unfortunately, the women didn't fare quite as well as they lost 63-53 to Colorado in Boulder. And I'm not for sure Colorado apparently is their Achilles heel for some reason. Didn't quite understand that one. Watched both the championship games yesterday. Congratulations to Philadelphia on their win. Of course, to the Chiefs on their win. So it's going to be a rematch from 2 years ago in Super Bowl 59. And it looks like the Chiefs are staring down a historic 3 straight Super Bowl victory if they can pull it off in 2 weeks. So see how that goes. And as for me, that's pretty much everything in a nutshell.
I have a lot. I'm suffering with sciatic pain and so just take it easy. So I did a lot of reading, watched a lot of football, and just kind of took care of myself over the weekend. And I was unable to go to the summit because I can't sit for any length of time. So if you see me walking around, that's, behind you and around the room, that's what it is. Hopefully I'll get in for some sort of a shot here pretty soon, epidural. So. A lot of fun. But yeah, John, yeah, you need to stay off of those ladders at a certain age. About 40, you need to quit. So anyway, that's all I've got. It's good to be back to work because I was going nuts. So
Oh, yeah. Can't do it again.
no.
Yeah, I'm going nuts this morning here too. It doesn't feel right. Literally and figuratively.
Well, last Thursday evening, my wife and I attended the Ozark Mountain Daredevils
Oh, did you
concert.
go to that?
Oh, cool.
It was special for us because one of our first dates with the Ozark Mountain Daredevils at Weber Arena in October of '74. They were
Really?
just new group. Nobody hardly even heard of them at that
Mhm.
time. They said that once that their first song, "You Can Get to Heaven," was just starting to come out.
That would have been good to go to. I'd have gone to that one.
It
Dang,
was,
it was about that.
it was a great concert. They did a good job.
That would have been.
And then Friday was Regional Growth Summit. John covered most of that. That last item, final discussion, was about trying to form a new MSA combining Lawrence, Topeka, Manhattan, and the counties connecting them to have, which works with federal programs. Having a bigger population would help it qualify us for bigger, for other programs. But they were looking into it to make sure it doesn't cancel us out of other stuff.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering about.
And then Saturday, the K-State basketball team swapped successes from their usual pattern this year.
Hmm.
And Saturday football, or Sunday was football, and that's all I've got. Get started.
Ready for business, commissioners? First item I have is the approval of the official depositories eligible to receive Riley County funds.
These are not change. Are there any changes from
There are
last year?
No, they're the same banks that are located, all the banks that are located in Riley County are included on the list.
Okay, great. Um,
Yeah.
Okay, then I'd make a motion to approve the 2025 official depositories.
I'll second. Been moved and seconded to approve the 2025 official depositories. All in favor?
Aye.
John, are you?
Yeah, I'm there.
Okay, thank you.
I'm trying to work back and forth through the email and the Zoom here, and I haven't figured that part out yet. So
Okay, next, commissioners, I need a motion to approve tax roll corrections.
Well, this is a big one.
That it is.
Well, I guess we can't discuss it. because-
Actually, two big ones. You can discuss it all you want. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what we have open public meetings for.
Yeah, so there wasn't anything exempt in this exemption. Even the restaurants that are for profit.
The Board of Tax Appeals determined the entire property meets exemption qualifications and granted exemption. Voted decided.
Sweet.
The
Our hands
exemption
are
was
tied.
granted. Our hands are tied. We
That's right.
provided the facts and the board decided. I'd be happy to forward you the Board of Tax Appeals decision if you would like to see that.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
See how they.
Yes.
See how they
That's a
came
good
up with
thing.
that. Yeah. Well, I would make a motion to approve the tax roll correction.
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded to approve the tax roll corrections. All in favor?
Aye.
Chair, please sign.
I'll get that email.
Thanks, Anna. Yes.
I wasn't here, right, for this, but the one thing I would, kind of state on exemptions overall in Kansas, right? It's not the most clear-cut area of the law. It can be very difficult to figure out, because sometimes they rule one way, Then sometimes they do something unexpected and they rule the other. So sometimes you feel like a dog trying to chase your tail, if you're in a race, you're figuring that out. And so I don't know if that helps provide any context, but
So it's still a big hit, so it's just. The percentage is what, around 42%, it's exempt, like that, in this county.
Yeah, exempt, yeah.
That's
And that
Which
impacts
is low, actually.
us, the
because
city and the county and the school district. For sure. Next commission, Riley County Employee Action Forms, Matthew Redskowski, volunteer firefighter, separation of service, Matt Norville, new hire as needed volunteer firefighter.
Okay.
Both please sign. Any changes to the minutes, commissioners?
I didn't. do anything.
I didn't see anything.
Get a motion?
Okay, I would make a motion to approve the minutes as presented from the January 27th, 2025 meeting of the Board of Riley County Commissioners. Or 23rd, I'm sorry, I'm looking at today's date.
I'll go ahead and second.
Been moved and seconded to approve the minutes of the January 23rd, 2025 meeting as presented. All in favor?
Aye.
The tentative agenda, look, commissioners. Any items for next week's press conference? If not, commissioners, have Jacob Hansen at 9. We did find out after I arrived at work this morning that Lori Feldkamp cannot make it today.
Okay.
She said she would reschedule.
Do we need to, you want to move things up or anything? We're still in the roll.
We could see if Megan could move up,
Mhm.
if the commission's in favor of that.
Fine by me.
Yeah.
You see if Megan could possibly move up to 9:15. And let me know. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, it's easy, rather than trying to move everybody up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
And we have an executive session in there.
Packets for everybody for executive session.
I can't go one without praising Jacob. He is-
There was that one day though.
There was,
That
yeah.
day, that day he wasn't here.
That day he wasn't here. There was one day. Oh, you know, well, you weren't. That's how I feel. It's, whenever you're here, it's like, yeah, you just doing your job. That's
Yeah.
It's kind of the point there.
You ever had that?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
I don't want to spoil the surprise, but county councilors work session, all of our stuff is hitting on the agendas. And so not a lot to update. There'll be a very short at the end of the meeting. Megan.
You know.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank
Thank you. Bye. The commissioners, Megan Lewis will move up to 9:15.
Oh, okay.
Cause you know, over said I spent on my Saturday just researching all the bills. And proposed. One of them I thought was kind of interesting. Can't remember who wrote that they said. that there's a bill that will allow if an executive session, it's over 5 minutes required to the scheduled time that you're free to just cut. You don't have to sit there and wait.
For the, interesting, because that's always been my. They would need to put that. That's what I obsess over, right, with executive session.
Yeah, I'm sure you'd all appreciate that too.
Going in for the right reason and then making darn sure that we don't come out early. Even if we're a minute late, that's better than early because we don't want anybody to have not been back. You know what I mean?
Because, yeah, you say not starting until 9:30, so.
So, yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, basically, the legislature would be putting folks on notice that you have a 5 minute window. So if you want to make sure you're there, you gotta be there at least 5 minutes early.
I do think, and maybe we'll probably mention this during the work session, but there are now separate bills in the House and Senate, I understand, for county home rule. And, that is.
I know, yeah, our senator.
Yeah, Senator Starnes. And then I think there's one also that's similar in the House.
That's what, no, it's canceled, but Brad had put in an offer to an amendment or whatever to the property tax valuation thing, to try to modify it a little bit, but now it doesn't matter, that's.
Yeah, no, not so much.
I was surprised that I thought House and Senate usually had those things worked out between them. Not complaining.
I was surprised as well, and I think that it never ceases to amaze me how
Sorry, I couldn't do that.
some things we would think are coordinated. are just not. Okay,
Yeah,
so, but it's definitely,
good.
now. Tom, and that's the other thing that we'll talk, I think we should probably talk in work session about the two things that I've heard from the legislature.
Okay.
Right, this one, Rich, had you heard about that there's now not just Senator Starnes, but also in the House, there's a bill for county home rule.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Good, good.
So apparently, and the request out of Kansas Association of Counties was that, do you think that someone from your commission would be willing to testify in favor of it? And without hesitating, I said, I will drive the SUV, right? We'll call a meeting
I'll try getting there.
and everybody will come, right? That's why I got a 7-seater out there. We'll all ride in style. Now,
Well, I also listened to the Judiciary Senate Committee on Judiciary.
Yeah.
That was really interesting, so the attorney shortage.
yeah.
Thank you. Presentation.
We're playing.
I mean, we built that in our indigent contract, RFP.
Very cool.
What, well, it's up like 90% of the attorneys in Kansas are in 4 counties or something like that.
Yeah, it's, I can't, it's a crazy number. It's way up there.
Yeah,
And even the worst part is if you remove attorneys that are, 60 and over, like.
then it's probably,
Yeah, the shortage is even just that much worse. Yeah, I think one of the legislative committee actually had a really good question that I don't think was answered very well. And he asked, are the owners of these firms giving up the type of work that pays well, such as like oil, gas leases and things like that, work that pays well, not, usually family law doesn't pay well, usually estate planning, that's kind of hit or miss, some of these like lower paying gigs. It doesn't seem like maybe the older generation is not wanting to give that over yet, which is maybe why younger attorneys aren't going out there. I don't know. It seemed like an interesting point to at least look at if that's going on.
when
It may
it
not.
counts the number of attorneys, is it the ones, attorneys in practice or is, like I say, you were corporate for a while, and I've got a nephew that's an attorney, but he's corporate.
Mhm.
Are those counted as?
They're still counted in this census,
Yeah.
they are counted. Which is also kind of, a bad side, because there's still so few of them in these counties. And it counts the corporate attorneys, it counts like, district judges.
Oh,
It's all the attorneys that are registered.
It's not even the practicing, it's what I would call
Yeah,
practicing.
you would,
attorneys.
yeah, you would even have, the older retiring attorneys that are still active on their license, but they haven't retired. Maybe they've dialed back their practice a bit.
Yeah, they just, I don't.
Yeah.
Part time.
But statistically, it still shows that they have one, where it's like, you have a county that may look like it has 8 attorneys there, but really private practice attorneys could be like 2.
It is, that's an interesting point about the nature of the work that's being given up. Right, and it's, our industry has gotten so, one of the reasons why I do praise Jake so much is that he is one of the youngest members of a truly dying breed that can do general legal work. And there just aren't, it's just not common. So if you're gonna go and build a practice out in western Kansas, you need to be able to take what walks in the door. And there's just not the kind of mentorship in the profession, and there really isn't.
Well, it's a friend of ours, I guess their son-in-law graduated, went out to Western Kansas, got a job, worked for an attorney, basically taking over a practice,
Yeah.
and over a guy that's gonna be. It was there a year, and elections came up, and the guy said, "It's your turn, you're a county attorney." And everybody else, nobody else would, however many attorneys, 4 or 5 in the county
Right.
said, "It's your turn."
Holy.
So he was, like I say, he'd been practicing for about a year, maybe 2. And he was county attorney because they all went, "Ah, I've already had my turn."
Yeah, wow. Can you imagine?
That's a lot.
Of course, there's not a lot of it,
No, it's
it's
true.
all in this county, but
You never know. There could be some wild stuff that pops up, that's for sure.
There.
I know over in Stevens County, things can get interesting.
we've, Natalie's down in Garden City, whatever county that,
Any,
that,
yeah.
I think he's down there.
That's one of the interesting things of, I think local government is that, yeah, you're a lot more quiet when you're in a smaller jurisdiction. But when you do have an issue, right, it's a smaller version of the same level. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So a sewer plant's a sewer plant. It doesn't, they just get bigger. So you've still got to have the same level of sophistication to understand some of that, and it can.
Oh, thank you, man. You're working hard.
Hi,
Oh, good enough.
Get
Caught
all
up
that
on
stuff
signatures.
I didn't read it all. Assuming it's all right.
Thanks for the raise.
Okay, we all got raises.
As a Clancy, I'd say every once in a while, the commissioners approve the minutes or something, or sign something, yeah, just sign it,
Doing it by radar. She figured John and I had signed it.
Yeah,
so
I
she-
did sign it. Figure if you guys signed it, you probably read it.
Oh, maybe.
Most of it, yeah.
Most of it.
Yeah.
No.
So you got the intergovernmental luncheon today. Never been to the Rocket Caves before. So. Oh, really?
It's good. They do a good job. Nice facility.
It looked nice. I did drive one. It looked nice.
And actually, it's the there's meeting room across the hall from Rocket Caves.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Because Rocket Caves isn't that big.
Now,
It's good. I like it.
being interested in that, that starts out with noon today.
Sometimes, well, it, sometimes people start showing about. News for the state.
I think you could like be 15 minutes early as always. And good.
They start serving 11:30.
Oh, they do.
Do it.
So we get to choose what we want to eat. We have to go to the restaurant. Is that the way it's?
No,
It's
It's like when they had it before. Mhm.
I know.
No, some of them they had choices. Usually they had.
They had multiple choices generally there, yeah,
Yeah,
but yeah, no, you just don't get an order.
okay, because the way I read it was like, oh, you have to go to the restaurant. And
Oh,
But I probably read it wrong.
Yeah. That's fair.
Last time I was. She did such a poor job arguing. It was all. Like, it's about the taxation. This was probably. Is that in spite of the Justice Johnson, because it was a Supreme Court, Justice Johnson, one of the other justices that had done local law, like they started reading from the portion of the brief that that I wrote that the senior partner did not get. Like, I have like an argument back. And like they started reading it, and as an advocate, I was like I nodded my head. And the other senior partner who did not understand the law.
Morning, man.
Like, I don't care, like whatever.
But that's the worst thing you've done. You were harmed.
Yeah, but that was it. It's like I was nodding my head. It's like, yes, that's right. And that case was fascinating because statutes that had been on since we were here. It's nice.
Everyone did Wild West was bad. And a green setting. So.
Bryant also got his ear bent on RHID.
Everybody did, I guess.
What's that?
RHID with that
RHID lobbying,
discussed, lobbied,
lobbying.
lobbied that road summit thing.
Yeah, and that's right. I did hear some talk.
So now who always doing it?
It's fine.
Who always questioning?
One I heard was the Jake, the Pepsi dealership.
Why is he so into it?
He just got down as the chamber president.
Oh, okay. Some of them say push, it's just.
And he wasn't nasty about it, but he was just pushing on me. But why are you guys doing it? Why are you getting, you should just do, your department should be the same as the city.
Not necessarily.
So there's all kinds of RFPs that we don't get a choice on, if they take their taxes, that's when we get a choice.
They try to push a lot of stuff on us too. Without talking to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
4 seconds.
Take a deep breath and go ahead.
Good morning, commissioners. Before you today is a resolution restructuring the Rural Economic Development Advisory Board. This was done, of course, at the direction of the board a few meetings ago. What the resolution does is it removes the director of the K-State Extension Office as a member of the board and replaces it with the Riley County Planning and Director. And that would be Amanda. And so what you have before you is just a restatement of that resolution, replacing the resolution that originally established the REDAB. Nothing else is being changed. Though, like I said, the only change is just the individual member from K-State Research Extension Office for Riley County Planning and Development. And also included in this resolution, or not in the resolution, but the packet, also there's a letter for you guys to sign to appoint, formally appoint Amanda as a member of REDAP. So stand for any questions if you have any.
Okay, is there a space for the director to actually be on the board, or is that just not going to happen?
The space is currently occupied by the K-State Extension Officer
Okay.
or Director. I'm not sure, with the retirement of, was it Mr. Pike, I think was his last name. Not exactly, I didn't follow maybe exactly what's going on that, but this will just replace that.
But it does say, if you look at the list of members, someone from Extend, it didn't say the head.
It didn't have-
Someone
John Job's already on there as well, so there is a member of Extension on the actual board.
Just said, at least one member from
Yeah.
that office.
Yeah.
is in there.
There's still one member from the office.
Okay.
That is correct.
And I did say, so Daniel might, he might make a change if he wants to do himself or have John stay on there. But like I used to attend REDAP, not really as a board member, as kind of a quote unquote guest. Daniel can do that too. So it's.
I was gonna say, I thought you went to the meeting. I thought
Yeah,
you were there, but you weren't a
Right.
member actually.
Member
Oh, okay.
that's there, so he's able to do that if he wants to keep John.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I would make a motion that the board approve the resolution number 012725 as presented,
And
I'll second.
and the letter.
and the letter
Thank you.
wasn't on there.
Yeah, that wasn't all that. That's my bad. I admitted that.
Okay,
Johnson.
Uh-huh.
All right, it's been moved and seconded that board approve the resolution. Excuse me, approve the resolution and letter as presented for signature. All in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Both please sign.
It's the resolution.
Next, commissioners, you'll have Megan Lewis at 9:15.
Presented the meeting today.
It's on there, the last.
Is it on there?
In here, it's listed, it's about, it's emergency management stuff.
Oh, okay.
Something.
I don't know what it was.
Yeah, I read
There's some
that.
people from the state and then community wildlife protection. Oh, that G 402 class, you know, did you get that invitation?
Really
for
good
the
stuff.
Emergency management class.
Yeah.
Russell.
Where is it? Okay, it's somewhere.
On the side.
Honestly, like they have something great sometimes. But they'll have things popping out. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, like I still. I don't know. Yeah, the same here.
That's true. It's kind of like a.
Yeah.
When you go there, like,
Yeah.
that's one of the headliners.
Yeah. I agree. So same. You know, so I guess like one thing is I could choose. You know, not to listen to everything they're not really most interested in.
That's true. You're gonna leave it out, but how do people?
Well, I usually I have like a little kid, so it's snacks or ice cream. It's crying because they always do or something, you know.
Yeah.
Why can't we get on the train, you know, whatever it is.
You can microwave drink.
Sure.
Yeah.
And it's like a huge aside and it's so dang much.
One is changing. And then it's coming. Pretty soon.
You think? I don't know. I mean, the architect, look at the real architect that they passed.
That's true.
I think my kids probably know Charlie Munger.
And then most people around. Nebraska are very low.
Oh, yeah, no.
The highest one is like. That is like the same. Yeah, that's like.
And he's just saying, like, I don't breakfast.
Yeah.
And it's the same state house, I think. It is pretty. I don't think it's. Wife's house in California.
Yeah. I mean. All the other, there's not just that.
For him there is, but he was, for him there really is, I think, but his
Yeah.
his kids, so you gotta have their option. You know, they didn't figure it out. So he ended up. Okay. Great.
Yeah.
He paid for college and things like that.
Well.
I mean, they all have like at least $10 million, so I mean, I think it's okay, but.
You even don't have to say, hey, if you put all. See. Just
they
Get
just
the
live off
interest,
it.
get live off the interest, you'll keep.
Well, and if they would put it all in their own Berkshire Hathaway stuff, it should. I mean, just since I've been adult. you know, one share. Plus, that's.
Yeah, okay, so we went there, we're gonna, I'll see that's the question. Thank you for that.
No,
I mean, it hasn't put up in class.
but we have
Yeah, that is more,
also during the month.
yeah. But not here.
Well, it's not as expensive, but it's not. I think it's up.
Yeah.
But no, wonder, yeah. All right, that's good.
Yeah.
Especially when people say, I don't know. I don't know.
It'll be interesting. Yeah, thanks so much for that. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean,
I kind
perception.
of probably, I would expect it.
So, well, I don't know about Jane, but I think it will definitely like hit something. But I think it's gonna come back because he's literally personally. So they've all been able to, yeah,
Maybe it'll go down.
yeah, I think there'll be perception, yeah.
Comes out, they go, oh, nothing's just fine.
Maybe that's what I think will happen, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, because. John's taking the one.
All right.
I was just.
Okay.
He had been before,
Like, so.
Right in front of you. Oh, that one.
Yeah. Okay, on the.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, something like that. Is that hard to do? No, it's really easy. Yeah, it's pretty easy. Take 10 minutes.
Did anybody catch the heated argument that took place Wednesday night after local government day?
Yeah, I had it on TV.
Yeah, apparently a Wichita councilman and a state rep from the area got into a
Yeah,
fight with the Celtic Fox.
Yeah, I did see it. I saw it on TV.
Both of them had to be refrained. Just reading it right now.
What was it about?
There's something local going on there. They're trying to do some type of remediation, and both the Sedgwick County Commission and Wichita City Commission have got to put funds up in order to get a matching grant from the state. And I don't know what the remediation's over, but it's something environmental, and everybody's being slow about it, apparently.
You know, it wasn't a good look for him because they had
No,
it on camera.
Oh, really? I didn't-
another representative apparently got involved to try to separate them, and he ended up on the floor.
Yeah, he did.
Oh.
The one guy just shoved him to the side.
Oh,
He went down.
well, I guess I didn't ever look at the Saturday paper, had a big article of museum getting remodeled.
Hmm. Yeah, I'd like to see that. I'm curious.
It's actually not that well. It's downtown. so people-
Thank you, Megan, for stepping in. Appreciate it.
I don't even know about it. I've lived in a lot of weird places and I don't know. The staff was a mess. I didn't have a chance to. So I just.
Nobody.
Well, it's not, no.
That's kind of.
Go ahead.
Good morning, Megan Lewis with Community Corrections. Here to present our monthly staff update. Okay, so to start with, we had a total of 11 juvenile intake in Riley County in the month of December. And one of those individuals was returned to a parent or guardian, 2 were placed with a family or friend of the family, 3 placed in an emergency shelter, and then 5 were released to a DCF worker or foster home. To date, we have had 135 intakes since July 1. That's kept us busy. Our youth court program is full and strong. We have 36 currently that are on the youth court intervention program, and we're working to get more volunteer jurors. We don't have a lot of those right now, so we are communicating with the schools to try to increase our number there. For juvenile intensive supervision, pretty much staying the same there. We have 7 total that are on juvenile supervision for the month of December. We have a few that will be coming to us in the month of January. Adult services, we have 100 that are on adult ISP, and then we have a couple that are in treatment 2, and then in jail 12, and then 551 of Saunders. Recovery court, we had a recovery court graduation last week where 2 of our participants were graduated, and it was a nice ceremony. We currently have 21 participants, 15 of those are Riley County clients, 6 of those are Clay County clients, and we've had a total of 53 participants since the start of the program. 14 have graduated from Riley and then 7 from Clay County. We have had to remove or revoke 8 participants since the start of the program for various reasons. Our next graduation will be in Clay County, and that will be sometime in March, depending on how that finishes its phases. I presented about Job Club last time, so I wanted to give you an update on that. In FY25 second quarter, we had a total of 14 participants in our Job Club program, and 7 out of 14, or 50%, have obtained employment during second quarter. So another thing I wanted to just share with you guys is about our cognitive behavior education. On Monday evenings, our care coordinator, Brett Rooney, he presents the Courage to Change curriculum, and he has 2 different classes. So at 5:30, he teaches the men, and at 7, he teaches the women. And that curriculum is evidence-based. It focuses on supervision, clients, and case management. It's an interactive journaling model. So those clients will complete their journals and then they interact with each other and share. The idea is to process. So we change behavior. They identify what caused them to do the things that they do, how did they get led to that, and then what can they do to change it. It's an 8-week program, and we focus on our high and moderate supervision levels. That before they start, they complete a PICS, which is psychological inventory of criminal thinking, and then they complete that same inventory assessment at the completion so that we can see the measure of change, if there's been an improvement in their criminal thinking. Other updates. We have uploaded and completed the first part of our KDOC program review. Now the next step is they will respond to us and schedule a date to come out and be on site and interview all of our staff and give us our feedback from our completed interviews. What we have to do is each officer has to submit a certain number of recorded interviews, recorded assessments, files, and then the Kansas Department of Corrections reviews that and basically does an audit to make sure that we're doing what we need to. And if there's things that they find, we make some corrections and we do a corrective action plan. As I told you guys last time, our due date for our comprehensive plan for our programs is now March 15th instead of May 1st. So that is a pretty big jump. I have been coordinating with Elizabeth and Brittany. We have a meeting tomorrow to go over some numbers. And then in addition, we set a timeline so that as we move forward, we have a plan and some goals, for example, to present some numbers to you as a board in advance so that you can give some feedback and have that. We also moved up our JCAB meeting so that we can present that to them. And just kind of making sure that we're in communication and being as transparent as possible. I had mentioned, I believe, before that the state of Kansas is working on a new funding formula for funding community corrections. They put a halt to that. It was supposed to be implemented for this next fiscal year, the application process. However, they determined they weren't prepared and didn't have everything in place. So they have now halted that, and it'll be in effect for FY27 for that grant application process. And they have some meetings scheduled for the 4th of February, the 19th of February, the 6th of March, some different things that we'll be attending to get a better understanding of how that will change and what that will look like. That's all I have for today.
I got a question back. I'm sure it's been on there before, but it's on adult intensive supervision. It says absconder ADE. What's an absconder? I mean,
So an absconder is somebody who is not currently reporting for supervision. So they have active warrants and law enforcement is seeking them out. We send letters trying to get them to come in. We're trying to get them, they're not in compliance.
Oh, okay, all right.
Absconder. It sounds like they're taking something.
Yeah, it's, yeah.
And that can include individuals who've been like deported. They might even be, so from the time that they get sentenced, a judge might realize that they are here illegally and there's an active warrant for them as soon as they get sent off, but we just have to keep them on our data and continue to try to make sure that we monitor in case they come back to the United States. Good question.
Thank you, Megan. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Next, commissioners, there's no press conference items, and then you will have.
So she's been keeping tabs on the pathetic existence for a while. Hard luck, I found out your there's videos of my pathetic existence. I can't seem to get rid of this person. This is about the second of her, they want $2,000.
Oh. Yes.
I didn't realize I thought I had a pretty quiet existence. So I'm not for sure how I get rid of this. Reported it once.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was saying. Turn it into something else. Diane. Jack,
How are you?
I had a question. I got, and I think it seemed like somebody had said that I had a, no, I can't get the thing. Something from KHE saying I need this document signed, something about for the 25 SIP mini grant agreement. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I won't, you get so many junk email, it looked official, but I thought somebody, you had said somebody was going to send me something, but before I did it, it came in Saturday evening.
Yeah,
But-
yeah, because originally it had Commissioner Ford's line for his signature,
Oh,
but
for
then we
chair.
had to let him know that it changed,
Oh,
so,
okay.
yeah, they had to resend it.
Okay,
So, yeah, that's legitimate.
okay, well, like I said, I thought it was, but since you guys were coming in today, I wanted to check before, because there's a lot of, as you
never
as you were
know.
just discussing, there's a lot of weird emails that show.
Yes, there are, yeah. So,
Yeah, just to explain, Greg, I got that on Wednesday and realized that they hadn't made the change between executive signatures between the chairs. So I sent it back over to, I think, Bryant and Rich to get that, and Diane to get that taken care of. So hopefully they made that switch in that. Those grants, they do them e-signature now only. So you should be getting those by email probably from here on out.
Okay, yeah, like I say, I got it. And I hadn't even opened it, just.
you're a good IT.
Yeah, our IT guy has beat it into me
Is
that
very
be careful.
happy. They're happy to hear that.
Commissioner Ford, sorry to, just as you muted to ask you to come back on, Rich isn't at his desk right now, otherwise I'd just ask him, do you know? Oh, you are?
He's right.
I figured, oh, you're he's hiding, well, there's, do we need to, is that one that's already been in front of the VOCC for approval, or do we need to have that?
Yes.
The one that got.
Rabbit came in and discussed a couple of meetings ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the grant that got sent, it's already been through and everything.
It's for the SIP mini grant. It's for the dollars they use for the baby shower.
Baby shower, community baby shower.
It rings a bell now.
Yeah, we discussed it.
Yeah.
It's already been
It's already been presented. Okay, so you're good. We don't have to do like a public action. Okay, that's all I care about.
Oh, the public hearing.
Yeah, or like getting the full agreement.
We made a motion to approve it already. So
Yeah, that's what,
Okay,
that's just,
now that it's the baby shower one, I remember that.
Yeah.
now they have to just go back to KDHE to get the state approval on it. And this is their process now instead of sending paperwork.
Now that it's, I remember baby shower. Like, okay.
Greg, I have Diane, she's gonna start going. Doing some outreach, and she's gonna go to-
You shop for a baby shower?
oh, really?
So I didn't
If I did, I
know.
wasn't paying
you know,
attention.
instead of
And like
everything,
significant
I
other
would-
was.
Yeah.
you know, and that's just-
Yeah.
Usually just something shit.
I mean, my sister's had 2 kids, so I'm pretty sure I have.
Yeah.
But the kids, they have a different lives. so-
It sounds so.
Just since that's, those are your district.
Yeah,
you
I
know,
have, she's really good with kids, so.
Or take her up there. Your sister with the two kids or?
No.
Yeah,
she's good
I don't see her lying.
Bougie baby tits.
Well, there's one sitting on a bill.
There used to be.
Riley.
So.
Like, when I was betting out there was this
They have
company
insurance.
in
Yeah.
the city,
I'm sure
Uh,
all trying the same thing.
and they did. They
Keep
just
lying.
jumped through their house.
So their insurance covers.
And so
Otherwise,
they're
you're
out
paying
paying
this
this.
insurance.
It's like artificial
One day.
somebody that we know has a shop.
But that's what you.
Okay, okay. That's-
And so there's this place called Florence.
Mhm.
Yeah, why don't
Because it
you
used to
send me
keep
the
codes.
notes?
So Lions has both those like
And
that.
so
Yeah,
my.
Meals,
well, yeah.
So.
Well, the
until
senior,
The seniors.
that's what, yeah.
And then when you go to say, when you go home,
Because she used to be sick.
do that.
All
she says-
three ran off. One of them, Riley had to see.
But my brother loves it.
Pretty.
So all.
Yeah, they do.
So baby could eat.
That might be.
Like my
I
brother.
would have a house follow up.
Yeah.
It's really- I want to go
Yeah,
in
like
the community.
first
because I
Thanksgiving.
was-
It was all of it.
For you.
Is that?
All
Well,
of
I
it.
just said.
Beans on it, like.
You don't think that will get it in all-
Okay.
Okay,
So I'll just.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, and I may be tested apparently that there's an entity government. That I don't. And just, I'll see what can go there.
Please, granted, nobody was open except for the police department. And Riley,
Okay.
you know, we went in the afternoon.
On Friday
Yeah.
afternoon, yeah, they Let's see now, we close Friday.
But we, she knows.
Leonard goes.
Yeah, well,
Like, I know, I know.
it's, you know, there's,
Yeah.
all sorts of things we can do there.
I-
Me too. And she just never would.
And then next month.
I never did, so that's-
Well, and like I said, it's here, COVID, almost that's.
I think that was cheaper to knock down. Writing is fine. I was
So I think
writing is fine, and we went out to the smoke.
It's really important, yeah.
Come back up. He went running down there and he had like, it was kind of getting dusk out and you couldn't see where the sidewalks.
Where to get around.
And it was kind of actually.
And that's the first time.
Yeah, I watched the feeling that he's not, or he's gonna, he's embarrassed.
But they're.
But I don't know where. He's 11, there's just a huge.
Oh, that's sad.
And then one of them, like, makes the nerve, so you have to have a pushing out. And have,
That game.
others.
Oh.
But then
Yeah.
So there's some-
Leavenworth here is the second largest one. in the state.
Oh, really?
One of which. They got almost 200 houses. But that's under the-
Yeah, yeah.
Met for lunch. down there.
Yeah.
Place downtown. So hard.
So I'm like, okay, yeah, well, that's good.
Yeah.
And I have like,
Most parts really use that. Yeah, it's older.
Yeah, I was.
yeah.
My dad used
I was
to.
towards the youngest.
He was a nice person.
Maybe just like,
Yeah, yeah.
But also retired guys have more time.
but I don't think he's gonna have no breaks. So I'm like, well,
Yeah.
One of the things they did.
I'll start with the breaks.
They had place.
Yeah, they are.
Minutes of salvation, you can sign up for that. You know, Lions, Rotary. Wow. Lions, they sign up as many people. How much money was released each place.
Well, that's
And
cool.
given awards.
Give it a award.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
These are those clients. Wonder if we had a bunch of people. And then go out and spend, you know, I signed up for a couple of hours. You guys are out all day.
All day.
I need to read this.
Just because they thought it was fun. Could be good.
Yeah. Or you know, competition like that.
They was complaining about the road, the road, that's the old guys. Well, they weren't any older than we were. Yeah, but-
Look at you do, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's true. Because I think you get more young people interested in doing things like that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the fire department. There's a lot. See.
Oh, yeah.
They're getting some more.
Yeah, that's, you know, we look at what's going on in the country, it's when I was looking at the phone and, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this one's Jacob, right?
Hmm.
Next one's.
No, we just did check.
Oh, Jacob, okay, we got that right.
Yeah.
So basically. Yeah.
Go ahead. Get a motion.
Oh,
Go to help.
okay. Are we ready?
Yeah, got a few seconds. By the time she gets up, we make our motion at the time.
Okay. Well, I would make a motion to recess as a Board of County Commissioners and reconvene as a Board of County Health.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to recess as the Board of County Commissioners and convene as the Board of Health. All in favor?
Aye.
Go ahead.
Good morning, Brenda Spencer, maternal child health supervisor at the Riley County Health Department. I'm here today to request permission to apply or actually submit a letter of intent for outreach, prevention and early intervention services grant from KDHE. This grant helps provide critical services for our weekly home visiting family program. We use the evidence-based curriculum called Promoting Maternal Mental Health, so we use that prenatally. And then promoting first relationships, we use that as part of through 5 years of age with families. And we did a pretty integral budget this year and really looked at the numbers that we had prior and what we were projecting for fiscal year 26. And based on that, our total funding increased a little bit this year to accurately account for the funding for salaries. Most of our budget is paid for salaries. And currently, we're asking that it's comprised of $319,000 from KDHE and then $319,000 in matching funds from Riley County. This is a 50% match that's required through this grant. And while the total increase is around $159,845, this amount obviously accurately reflects the necessary funding to cover the budget, including the salary increases for 26. And so I notified KDHE of the request of our increase, and they said it was an acceptable amount on their end. So today I'm just asking for move for the commission chair to sign the OPI letter of intent, which will then amend the contract for renewal.
And these contracts are June or July 1st.
Yeah, so we run the state fiscal year, which starts July 1. So fiscal year 26 will start July 1 and then go through June 30th of the next year.
And this increase was in our budget.
So most of it was, yes. So part of this, like their fiscal year, will budget part of
Yeah,
that
I
for
know
next
it's,
year.
yeah,
And
it's
then
a mess.
I had some numbers too, because I know it sounds like a large increase, but I wanted you guys to understand that Riley County has always been covering this portion. But we just never had a real, I guess, insight as to how much. So for like, our calendar year of 2024, we were covering already an extra $59,233. But for their fiscal year of 24 is an additional $60,687. And then prior to that, in calendar year 23, it was $39,677 that we were covering in addition. So this year we really got down into the weeds, spent a lot of time looking at what has been done and really move things around and hoping to actually decrease the MCH budget request from the county. Part of that match and transfer that over to OPEI.
Ruthie, can you clarify, when you say in addition, you mean in addition to our 50%?
Yes,
So we got our 50% match plus additionally.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
And this way, KDHE will also be paying more towards our grant to help offset your.
Cover what we had been covering.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
correct. Yeah. So we're asking them to cover more as well as
Mhm.
to meet that match.
Good.
So the total increase is not 159,000, it's 79,000. It's correct without match.
For the county's match, correct. It's,
Okay.
yes, it's $79,922. And according to Brittany, you
We've been paying some of that
paid
already
over what
through
we
other directions.
originally had prior. And so now the state will also fund an additional 79,000.
Oh.
Well, I would make a motion for Commission Chair Greg McKinley to sign the OPEI letter of intent and amendment of the contract for renewal. As
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded for commission to sign the OPEI letter of intent amendment for contract renewal. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rev. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Commissioners.
And I can go ahead and make a motion to recess as the Board of County Health and reconvene as the Board of County Commission.
I would second that.
Been moved and seconded to recess of the Board of Health and reconvene as the Board of County Commissioners. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Okay, I'll see you this afternoon.
Did John make that motion? Or you just?
John did.
John?
He made it. And I seconded it.
Trying to
You're on.
multitask here.
Yeah,
John getting on the phone.
Need to get
John, you calling?
Yeah, I'm gonna start the process now.
Brian.
Yes.
Get the motion. This dissertation.
Yes.
Vehicle tag.
Thanks, sir.
Yeah.
okay. I would make a motion that the county commissioners, including Chairman McKinley, Vice Chairwoman Foki, and Commissioner Ford, Bryant Parker, Riley County Counselor, Jacob Hansen, Deputy County Counselor, attorneys from the commission, and Elizabeth Ward, Human Resource Director, that they recess into executive session on a performance matter of non-elected personnel, with an exception to the Kansas Open Meetings Act, for the purpose of an appeal of a disciplinary action and to protect
This is
the
Rich.
privacy of the employee. The open meeting to resume in the county commission chamber at
It would be 9:50.
9:50 AM.
Okay. You second that, John?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can second that. I'm having a hard time hearing everybody except for you.
All right, been moved and seconded to go into executive session as detailed. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So on this, yeah, and then use. Yeah.
Okay, like it?
The meeting is live.
Oh, okay.
Commissioner Ford is not yet rejoined. I'm sorry, I said that a little too
I
quick.
didn't hear it. Okay. Well, I would make a motion, that the record reflect.
No,
Oh,
you move out of executive session.
oh, I make a motion that we come out of executive session.
I'll second. Been moved and seconded to come out of executive session. All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah. Okay, and then I would move that the record reflect action shall be taken consistent with the following consensus reached in executive session. The county commission approves the disciplinary action reviewed today in executive session, and the county councilor shall notify the parties.
I'll second. The moved and seconded consensus was reached in executive session. With the following consensus, they approve the disciplinary action reviewed today in executive session, and the county councilor shall notify the parties. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Oh, he's up there now.
It's time for Amanda, commissioners. Oh, thank you, ma'am.
Do we keep these? Brian,
Usually they
do we
take
need
it
to
back.
keep these?
No,
Okay.
All right, go ahead, man.
All right, good morning, Commissioners, again with Planning Director. Very excited that I'm back with a comprehensive plan update report for you folks. It's been a few months, of course, as you know. That, we've been on a bit of a hiatus, so I haven't had much to report. So with this report this month, we will restart those monthly reports. And again, of course, I have my regular planning department update that I always provide a little bit of information. And then if there's other things to talk about, I'll definitely make sure you're, of course, all kept in the loop. So we did, of course, finalize the contract with Stantec Consulting Services last month. And planning staff has had a couple of meetings with them to kind of get things re-going. Is that a word? Restarted with that route. So they're doing a lot of background work right now. They're, of course, reviewing existing local and regional long-range plans, anything that's going to have some sort of impact or somebody we need to make sure we're coordinating. They're reviewing all of that. They're gathering data, all kinds of different data, planning related, but also county-wide. They're looking at our demographics, all of that sort of stuff, and then kind of evaluating existing conditions. So they're in the phase of what they're calling learning. So again, just kind of gathering all that information and whatnot. And again, we've had a couple of conversations with them where we have monthly meetings scheduled with Stantec, but likely planning staff will meet with them a little bit more often, especially we're getting right into it. So we'll be talking with them pretty often. Excuse me. So I did include the schedule in your packet here. That was actually included with the contract that you folks approved in December. So you've seen it before, but I think it's good to have it out there. So they do have the schedule through September, but I went ahead and put no later than October. I don't really see, I'm knocking on some wood, but I just wanted to make sure, to kind of put in a little bit of a buffer. So, so we're a bit later than we originally wanted when we first started this process, but not too bad. I think it's really good that we're getting it done by the end of 25, since our current plan is called Vision 2025. We need a new vision. But that also gives us time. We're not rushing it either. And that was important to all of us as well. We want to make sure we're getting a good solid plan and not just saying, well, we got to get it done by this date, whatever we get. So we're going to extend it out and make sure we get a good solid plan. So the comprehensive plan committee, we are scheduled to reconvene with that group next Wednesday in the afternoon, February 5. Stantec will be there to kind of discuss the process, the schedule, next step moving forward, and we'll give them the schedule and introduce the Stantec group to our comp plan committee, because there'll be a lot of communication with them, a lot going back and forth. And we'll encourage the subcommittees, to start meeting again after that. Just a reminder with the subcommittees, that's the housing, health, parks and recreation, infrastructure, economic development, and land use and agriculture. So again, everything has been on hiatus these last several months, so, excuse me. So again, once we get the full committee next week, we'll get the subcommittees meeting again as well and kind of recapping what they have been working on. We did get a couple new CPC members when I gave the presentation to the intergovernmental last summer. I had a few folks, which I was really, really excited about, so thank you to them. They came up to me and asked about the committee and asked about the process, and I said, yes, please, it would be wonderful if you could be on board. So they have joined, so they'll be at the meeting next week. We do still need some folks from small cities would be good, K-State, more of the school districts and other townships, if we can get them. A reminder that even if somebody doesn't want to be on the committee, that's not the only way to be involved. I know the committee is a commitment, and that can be a lot for some people, which is perfectly fine. I still want the input. If they're like, I can't be on a committee, but I have a lot to say, please send me the email. Please let me know what you have to say. You don't have to be on the committee in order to give us your input. So just want to make sure people are aware of that. You don't have to make a huge commitment in order to give us your input. It's important no matter what. So public outreach, just kind of a reminder of what we've done so far. Again, it's been a little bit, but we have those community workshops. We did our public survey. And of course, we still have our website. Did our presentation last summer to the intergovernmental, and I'll be presenting again to the intergovernmental this summer as well. Just want to again make sure to say all of the input we've collected so far through the workshops, through the surveys, and anything people have told me so far, I still have it. It's still out there for everybody to see on our website. It's still going to be used. It's still going to be wrapped up into the plan. Just because we, had a little break, we're going to do some more public outreach. All of that is still valid and still appreciated, will still be used. So just again, that's another thing I want to make sure people are aware of, that all the work that they have put in so far is still appreciated and still used. So, and of course, public engagement with this kind of thing always runs through the life of the project, but we will have additional public workshops starting in April. You can see in that schedule that is in your packet what those different workshops are going to look like over those next several months. So there will be additional opportunities for people to come in person to look at some things and have conversations and provide it. But there's always the opportunity for people to send me an email, to come visit me, to give me a call, to write me a letter, however they want to do it. There's always that opportunity for people to do. So just another reminder, we have our comprehensive plan update dedicated website. So that's the website address there. And again, all of that public info we collected is there. And then I also have an email address that's specific to the comp plan, but people can, and they're welcome to use that. It comes right to me, or people can just use my regular website email address as well. So it was just nice to have that dedicated one. So then I know people are specifically emailing me about that. So I can make sure to categorize it, but it's perfectly fine to just send me an email. So not a ton right now as we're kind of getting back going, but again, wanted to make sure to be before you let you know there are some things starting to get going again, and we will have a lot more to report on over the coming months. So do you have any questions or?
How often do they meet? So I was going to try to, I think one or two people into this, but I was going to try to strong arm the, again, how often do they meet?
So we don't have necessarily a set schedule. If you recall, so there's the 6 subcommittees and they kind of dictated how often they met. Some met a lot more often than others. It just kind of was how people's schedules worked out. So probably it's going to be a little bit more often, a little bit more.
Yeah, that we're actually
engagement. Yeah, we're really getting down to it. So I would say it's probably a little bit. I don't want to scare people off though.
Yeah.
So I don't really have a every other Tuesday sort of schedule to give you, but it's probably going to be a little bit more often as we're
maybe a couple times a month.
Yeah, I think that would be a fair up to a couple times a month. I think would be a fair
way to say it.
Thank you. That's people in Leonardville, I know I can work on. I don't know if that's ran off yet, but I think we got one Riley. Tim's on there.
Yes, actually, yes.
I say he's from Riley, although he moved. Just outside the city limits now, but
Yeah.
he's right in the edge of the city.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll try to work on that again.
Yeah, that'd be great. Questions or comments?
I just see we're talking about it for a year, finally getting it moving. And it's not criticizing, I know it's been a uphill battle, but finally getting moving. Good.
We're definitely excited. So. Much more to come, but thank you.
Thanks, Amanda. Thanks, commissioners. You have Mr. Parker, 1010.
Questions for Maya?
Oh, good. Goody.
Long list.
There you go.
Exercise for the knees.
Bless your heart.
Great. We said. We can just introduce. The people that would have one person is override. Yeah, and we'll right that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, starting, everybody introduces again. And after that, let's have. Yeah, she'll have that. That school, because she's out there, she got thinking, I'll have to extend out about this scraper, she's got extend out about this long so she can reach across there. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And they're getting.
It says a commercial building.
I believe that's the one. Yeah, I think they're trying to, I don't know if it's for vertical or if it's for,
Yeah, they're gonna be the tenant.
oh, they're gonna be the tenant. Oh, yeah, they'll be,
Commercial building in there and stuff.
so they would be,
Do we have to, did they tell this or?
I don't think, this is on multifamily housing revenue bonds. We don't.
Yeah.
I think there's I think we could appear in comment, but I don't think. We haven't had a detailed comment.
This
Just pictures. I have to go and show. 17 there's, I think there's just like, I think it's just an RFP. It's like industrial revenue bonds. Call for
Because they didn't say that, so multifamily housing. So 27 miles.
Is this the one? Which like. Properties.
Yeah, okay.
I think that's the
Is
case.
that the one?
Richmond off the top of his head.
I'm sure that's by the Commerce Building.
Yeah.
Is that the Commerce Building? Okay.
I'll bet so.
Burton's gonna be the
Oh,
tenant.
I think.
Oh, no.
It's not Lara.
No.
So they're gonna build a commercial building and Burton's gonna be the tenant. Yeah, that wouldn't be the Commerce Building. That's the point.
Where is this located?
Morrill Street, 27 Morrill.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting. I don't know what that is.
What was it in my box this one? Multifamily housing revenue bonds.
All right, are we ready for me?
Yeah.
That is the provider. Commissioners, Brian Parker, Riley County Counselor, and I did, as I was thinking here, one thing I did wish to do in this administrative time before I stand for questions is to go over just briefly a couple of the things that we're encountering with this current legislative session. The most interesting development so far would be Senate concurrent resolution number 1605 that was introduced by our very own Senator Starnes that proposes calling for an amendment to the Constitution for counties' power of home rule. And that would be a very well for most of us in the county government line of work. That's been a part of our legislative platform, not currently this year, but historically in the past, we've consistently supported that as Riley County. And in speaking with some of the staff with the Kansas Association of Counties, it might be appropriate to have at the very least, a statement of support and or some testimony before the commission that would be hearing this bill. It just got referred to, I'll send out an email that summarizes all this. It's just straight from the legislature's website, but it's been referred to the Committee on Federal State Affairs as of Thursday, the 23rd, right after it was introduced on Wednesday, the 22nd. So I don't know when it'll be heard yet, but once we find that time, I would strongly encourage somebody that personally lives in home rule counties. I would strongly encourage that we take it, do whatever we could possibly do to support this. And the only thing I will add editorially is that I do think that our state legislators, right, they do pay attention when we show support. Like they really do. That's important to them. So that's the first thing. The second thing that has popped up in the legislature is a potential repeal of the Green Mile and zoning authority for cities. That's House Bill 2025. And basically, I think that comes, I don't know what part of the state it comes from. It certainly doesn't come from our part of the state, but there appear to have been some conflicts between how cities have been using that in other jurisdictions to deal with development that's outside of their city limits. And so I think that's where that comes from. That's something that we'll definitely be keeping an eye on. There's that. And then our little bill, I've been emailing back and forth with Mr. Bruno and our little bill on short-term rental, less than a page. He's got it into the drafting process and it will be presented sooner rather than later for the appropriate committee to be considered to be put in state law. That's really all the updates I had in that arena. I do have a question that I know I've received it, and I think maybe another commissioner has received it. There's the Habitat for Humanity. They are interested in pursuing community land trusts further on the statewide level, right? While it's certainly not something that's in our current legislative platform. The reason why we took an interest in it, in my office, and by we, I mean I, is regardless of whether it's chosen to go forward with or not, it creates an issue for appraisal. How are these properties to be valued? And so that our appraiser has good instruction as to what they're supposed to do after having set conversations with the Department of Revenue, and that they don't really have any guidance on it. It became clear that, and there's really no consensus across the country, it may be appropriate for there to be a statewide act that says, okay, I'm going to have community land trusts in the state of Kansas. This is how they're supposed to be valued by an appraiser. And I did a little bit of research and found that our friends at the American Bar Association actually already had in one of their journals printed up a model state act. And so that's what they're running with, I believe. And they asked if the commission would have any interest in lending its support to it. I mean, of course, it's the counselor's office. We don't have an opinion either way, other than it seems to be a well worded act, and it seems to identify the issues that would need to be resolved on a statewide level. So I'm just floating that out. If the commission wishes for me to come up with a little bit more of a formal presentation for you all to consider, whether it's something that, and it's certainly not something that we would have to endorse if we didn't wish to, but they had made the request. I said, well, I'll pass it along to the commission, right? Like I do always such things that we hear about. So I'm just putting that on people's radar. And if you would like for me to, I'm happy to schedule a little bit of a time put together a little commission agenda report that explains basically what the statute does. But I don't want to do that if we look and we say, well, we have so many other things right now that we're focused on with this legislature, right? We don't want to muddy the water, or it's not an issue that we're going to wait and see how it's handled on the state level. I wanted to get your feedback. So any thoughts from the commission? So, I mean, I'm happy to, how about you all think about it? And then if you want me to, I can put together a report on it. I just was passing along that it had been passed along. And also I did share, I shared very much with the community that, right, it's not a situation that Riley County would necessarily be opposed. We just have a lot of things on our plate right now.
Yeah.
And we are definitely focused on what our legislative platform is, not necessarily, right, able to focus other resources on that. So, yes, go ahead.
Mr. Chair.
Yeah.
On the community land trust, I don't think it's one of those things whether we have to determine if we're for or against, but I think we need legislation because they are here. And so our appraiser needs clear direction, so I think it'd be that our best for us to be involved at the ground level with Anna's involvement, because they are already here in the state and they're here locally. So I think
They're here.
commissioners
Ogden.
understand.
Yeah, to be clear, and I probably should have explained, thank you, Rich, for that for that background. That is the only reason why it presents a very arcane issue for appraisal. That gets into what does fair market value mean? And I would like to say that it was all above my head, but unfortunately, I've actually had to dig into some of this a little bit. And once I dug in, I said, yeah, Anna, you're right. This is a tremendous mess. And there probably needs to be some clarification if this is going to go forward, right? So proactively, I said, well, instead of letting them just flounder with, no idea what they would even need to do, I could report on a model act, but it wasn't as a position of endorsing their existence. It's more, this helps us avoid headaches on the local level, knowing what we're supposed to do.
Being proactive is good.
Yeah.
Getting ahead of it.
Figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
For better detail.
Yeah, that's kind of where it was coming from. So, with that, I stand for questions.
Just updates on a couple, because I know I asked you last time. Firing range, I know you were trying to set up a meeting. Did you ever have any?
I set up, I basically, in an email, I said, pick a time over this email was sent about 2 weeks ago, said pick a time. And in the next 2 weeks, and we will come meet with you, right? I then said, if that time doesn't get picked, then we're going to go independently with Public Works personnel, figure out what, because there is an obligation under the lease to do some road remediation, not to improve the road beyond what it originally was.
Just get back to what, I'm sure it's in good shape for what it was.
And in just the interest of total transparency, right? While I know that there was traffic that happened, substantial traffic when our CPD was using the road, I also understand that there were heavy duty dump trucks that were going over the road as well at the same time, because it was a point of access for that kind of a user. And so we're trying not to quabble over that so much as what can we realistically do to get it back to what it was in 1995. And then we're going to move forward, and moving forward, where we're at now with that is I am preparing an access agreement that they will need to sign, or else if they don't sign it, then we can't do the work. And that's completely in their court, And that's where it was set. And then we have done literally everything we could possibly do as a county. It's up to the landowner to empower us to do the rest. Not a happy answer.
Yeah, no, I don't need one of these or easy answers. I wouldn't ask you easy questions.
Oh, of course not. Of course not, Commissioner.
And Bala, you know, we were talking about needing to hire somebody to clean it up.
Yes,
Where
that's,
are we on that?
we are very far down that road. It will, I don't know if it will be next Thursday's meeting or the Monday after that, but we have already received back a bid from Clean Harbors for what it would take. We were very pleased at the dollar amount for the initial cleanup of the initial removal of the drums. And
I don't realize right now would be the time to try to get in there, but.
yeah, but they came back with a favorable,
Okay.
with a very favorable and this is, you know, for things that were left by citizens, not by the county, right? On some land that we discovered we had an ownership interest in. So now we're being good stewards and looking to clean that up. It looks like it's not going to be, sometimes when people leave things and then it becomes government's mess to clean up, the bill can be ouch, right? It looks like we won't know until they go and do some soil sampling as well, right? But we're optimistic that this is not going to be ouch. It's going to just be more of a financial nuisance than anything. And so
Good.
that will be good. And we're gonna have a meeting, sorry, I didn't mean to touch the mic. The budget and planning committee internally is gonna be meeting on that this week to go over what's been bid back. And
Okay.
I'll leave the people that understand numbers to say where it all comes from and goes down, but I was pleasantly surprised with what they initially came back with.
Unfortunately, it's one of those situations, I mean, it's not an astronomical number, but we don't know if there's potential soil cleanup, but still it's higher than I would like to spend,
Yeah.
given we're gonna have more in that property than what we could sell it for, just for the cleanup, so.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's not, I won't break the bank, but it's not anything I'm happy about for sure, for a vacant piece of property that never should have gotten that condition and has been abused by individuals.
Yeah, the soil would be the big thing if that.
Yeah, that would be if that's
Leaking would be the
case.
I have, I can say that, in talking. And now this is anecdotal, and they don't know until they've done the testing. But there's hope out of Clean Harbors that we won't see much beyond some very surface stuff that they'll need to keep with. And that, I mean, because I've seen these things get astronomically expensive.
Yeah.
And I don't think we're gonna be in that scenario here.
Okay.
It's unfortunate that people abuse that property, but it is what it is.
All right.
Anything else, Commissioner?
I think.
Did you have any? Did you have anything, John? Mr. Ford?
No, you covered most of it legislatively. I think though on the 1603, obviously that's not going to make it over across the chamber. The rumor has it there's not enough votes in the tax committee on the House side to even make that a possibility of giving out a committee. There are a couple other interesting bills to note, and I know one of them's 2001 that will make R&R payments back to the counties to pay for that for those mail outs up and through 2039, but that's also got to be budgeted, so there's a lot of work before that'll probably get a hearing or get talked about. And I'm told, and I have not seen a bill number on this, that there is a state county or state R&R bill holding the state to the same requirements as the local units of government. If I'm a betting man, it probably won't pass, but at least the conversation on that's being brought up anyway. So just a couple other things to throw out there.
The counselor's office will hold comment. But I agree with Commissioner Ford. I don't think it'll pass.
Like the fox watching the hen house.
Yeah,
Nice, well, it's nice that at least somebody's bringing it up there.
Yeah, both of those are actually the House Tax Committee Chair, Adam Smith.
Mhm.
thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you, Ryan. I don't have anything more.
I have a question, just to kind of an update, or not update. We talked about, getting some architects to do some design work in these buildings. What's the process for that?
Well, John worked on that.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Ellerman was gonna be working
John.
on
He's
John's
working
working
on
on
that,
that.
okay.
Mhm. Yeah, he was here that day. We were talking about it.
that. Okay.
Mhm.
He's gonna,
Take some time.
okay, I was just kind of curious how that's gonna be picked.
Yeah, well, I know he was thinking, him and I had preliminary discussions and, since we have multiple vendors that are qualified in the community, maybe separating them out per building.
Yeah.
That way you get like design, but then also, have them tour what's done in elections and say, we're thinking something kind of like this for all of our buildings, that way you don't want one building looking one way, another looking totally different,
Right.
you'd like some consistency and
Interior, yeah.
as designers can do that, once they know kind of what we're after. So John was thinking, to maybe building by building, separate it out
Yeah, if
by
we
the
just
locals.
get some space planning done, that's
Mhm.
the main thing.
Yep. Yep.
I think we really need to,
Mhm.
especially
Oh, for sure,
June's coming up pretty quick.
for sure. No doubt.
That's the only thing I had.
I just remind the commissioners, we are hosting the intergovernmental. It is today. Of course, the chair runs the intergovernmental. Vivian and Cindy Kay have done a lot of work getting it all outlined, and we are just pre-gaming out there and just before to help get things in line. And Vivian's going to get the chairman some more information, and we'll kind of do things a little bit differently. Hopefully, have it organized and run smoothly.
Okay. It's always good.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be able to make today's ones, unfortunately.
I'll eat your lunch for you.
It sounds good. I'm just kind of struggling along here today.
Yeah.
Heal up.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see, well, we adjourn after the intergovernmental.
Yep. Well, you go ahead and make the motion now. Yeah.
Okay, I would make a motion to adjourn the Board of County Commissioners meeting from January 27th, 2025, after our intergovernmental luncheon this today.
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded to adjourn the January 27th meeting after the intergovernmental luncheon.